Nobody's here yet.
And then go back up. Mute it and go.
I'm trying to unmute him. Okay. Hello. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Happy weekend. Happy Saturday to every one of you. I'm just trying to hold on a bit for other people to join us before we start today's live. So we'll wait like for a few minutes, then we'll go direct, we'll go straight into what we have today. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Hi. Okay. Today we'll be talking about craft tools for beginners. Craft tools for beginners. Like when starting leather craft, you need some simple basic tools to start a leather craft. That's the topic we're going to talk about today. But we'll be back again live by 4. But for now, this first session, we're talking about craft tools. And Mr. Victor will be joining us soon. He was here earlier, but I'm sure maybe network connection or so. So let's get started with what we have for the agenda of the day. We're talking about craft tools for beginners. So if you're starting into leathercraft, if you're starting into leathercraft, sorry, your hand tools are very, very important. And starting for beginners, you must not start by buying the all tools all at once. It's advised that we start bit by bit as we grow with our hand tools. And it's important that we have hand tools when making leather crafts. So we the common one we all know is a pricking iron for us to open our stitching holes and all, our ruler, groover, edge skiver, and the rest, scissors and all. Yes, those are some of the basic craft tools that we need when starting up our leather craft skill. So here I have some tools that I will show you and how they are used, or the uses of these tools. I'll go one after the other. First off, here I have a metal ruler. You need metal ruler to be able to get your dimensions right. Like from yesterday, we learned that Mr. Victor teaching us how to create our own templates, and he used ruler. So ruler is very important for us to get our right dimensions and angles when creating our templates. So get a metal ruler. It's important you have your ruler. You can have it long, short, any way that's convenient for you, but get yourself a metal ruler. After that, you will start with our color pen. Color pen or marker pen. They are of different types, but this is the one I use. You use this to mark out your templates on your leather or whatever materials you use in creating your shoes, your bags, your wallet, your belt, whatever point you want to make in the leather craft that you're trying, or the project you're working on. So the marker works very well. And this marker, at times, some leather, it doesn't, if you mark it on the front surface, on this front face of the leather, it wouldn't go off. So it's advisable and recommended that you mark it at the back of the leather, so that in case not to have the silver lining on your leather. So it's preferable you mark it at the back, or you test it first, clean it in a small part of the leather. If it's, and then you can use it on the front of your leather that you're working on. Yes. And then we have our cutter knife. We all know the cutter knife. It enables us to cut out, after drawing our lines from the template on our leather piece. We use the cutter knife to cut out the piece we need from the leather, and it has the adjustable and reduction to any way or any length you want your cutter knife to appear. So this is the cutter knife. It's important as a beginner you have the cutter knife. It's available in the market in Mushin or anywhere, any state you are joining us live from. You can use the cutter knife. It's important you have a cutter knife for cutting your leather piece out. Then next up, we have this one comes in the craft kit. It comes with most craft kits. This is also a cutter knife, a pen cutter knife. You hold it and cut out your piece from the part you already cut. Use your template in drawing the lines out. You can also use this for your for cutting your leather piece out. And this works very well with lighter leather, softer leather. This one goes very well with softer leather. While the cutter knife goes with both light leather and thick leather. So these are the two cutter knife and cutter pen for beginners in leather craft. Am I going too fast? Or is everyone following me? Okay, I can see here someone is asking, can we also use plastic ruler? Plastic ruler is not advisable, was not recommended to use, because when cutting with the metal ruler, when using the metal ruler, they said it is used, you can place your ruler on the leather for straight and clean cuts and go through it when cutting straight lines. So when you use the plastic leather, your blade might cut off the plastic edges and your ruler won't be straight. But with the metal ruler, your cutter knife or blades, your cutter knife blade won't be able to go through your metal ruler. So it's recommended to just use metal ruler, not plastic ruler, except you want to use the plastic ruler when making your templates. But when you're working with the leather or any materials, use the metal ruler. Okay, someone here said we are following. All right, thank you. So I can go on. If I'm too fast, you can always draw my attention back. Yeah, thank you. So also your owl. Owl is very important. You can also use owl also to draw out lines on your leather in place of this marker pen as well, like on the front face of the leather. Just draw the line you want from your template with it, then use your knife to cut it out. You can use the owl. And the owl is also used to create holes in your leather before stitching. Yeah, you can use your owl. That's what the owl is used for. And they come in different sizes also. But as a beginner, you can get anyone that you think is convenient for you. As time goes on, you will learn to know the different sizes of the owls we have. Here we have pricking iron, the common one everybody loves and go for. I sell leathercraft tools, and I know the number of pricking irons I have sold so far selling leathercraft tools. I get higher demands in leather and in pricking irons. Everybody wants this pricking iron because it's easy to use. It makes your work easier, actually. Yeah. So the pricking iron, before going to what the pricking iron does, I should start with my divider. There is also something called a groover. I don't know where I dropped mine, but this is a divider, and there is a groover that you can use to draw straight lines when making a project, straight stitching lines. For you to get straight lines when stitching, hand stitching, or maybe you're using a sewing machine, you need a pair of divider or a groover. So this divider here, it's adjustable to any size or length you want it to be. So with this divider, you put it in the size you want it, maybe half centimeter or a centimeter or two, whatever you want it to be. You hold it firm and you draw on the edge. From the edge, you draw it down to how long you want it. Like for example, like this, you place it here and then you go straight on the line. After marking out the line on your leather, then you use this pricking iron on it. You place it on the straight line and punch. You strike it. When striking, please do not use a metal hammer on your pricking irons or on your metal punches, because it will damage the edge of your tool. So you use mallet. something like this. Some of them come in white. Some people use wood, like Japanese people. I've seen them using wood on it. So this is what you use. This plastic head. Some come in white, black, but this is the one I use. This is what you use to help strike the pricking iron on the line to form your stitching holes. Do not use a metal roller because you will damage your tool. Yes. So you need this hammer. It's available in the market at Mushin also, or any other leathercraft market in Nigeria. You get it. And your pricking iron. And this pricking iron comes with, they come in sets. This one is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teeth. Some are 3, some are 2, some are 1. Depends on the set you buy. Hope we are following. Hope I'm not too fast. Okay, someone is asking me here, are there different types and sizes of pricking irons? Yes, we have different types of pricking iron and they come in different sizes. When we say sizes, it's the spacing. Like this one I'm holding is a 4 mm spacing. Some come in 6 mm, some come in 3.38, 3.35, different sizes. Depends on the distance you want for your stitches. That's how they come. But it's classic. It's 4 mm and this is what is very popular. It's common. As time goes on, you do your research, you will know more on the spacing and the sizing. And this one, the mouth is the diamond mouth. It's straight. There are other ones that are slantly bent. Yes, those are the Japanese type of punch also. In Japanese pricking irons, they are available in the market and you can get yours also. Yeah. So this is the divider for drawing your stitch in straight line, and this is what you use to strike your punch, stitching punch, your hole punch, anyone you want to use. You make use of this mallet. Also, your scissors, your pair of scissors is important for cutting out your leather out. Okay, sorry, if I don't have pricking iron, which other way can I punch holes on my leather? Okay, if you don't have pricking iron, there is a hack. Your eating fork, you can use it to get your space. Sorry, I was distracted by a question. Okay, if you don't have pricking iron, you can use your eating fork. You know, this pricking iron looks like eating fork. So you can use your eating fork. After drawing your straight line, you just pierce your fork on the surface of the leather, then use your awl, the mark from the fork on the straight line. You can use your awl to bore holes following those holes made with your eating fork before you can get your pricking iron for striking. That's the hack we use starting this leathercraft. Please, you just said, and any other leather crafts market. Is there any leather market in Lagos? The only leather market in Lagos is Mushin. That's one I know of. Why I said any other leather craft market are for our viewers outside Lagos. Yeah, people in other states around Nigeria. That's why I said any other leather craft. Because in the north, we have multiple leather markets there, tanneries there in the northern part of Nigeria. So that's why I said any leather craft. When I say any leather craft market, I'm talking about Nigeria in general, not just Lagos. Lagos, you can go to Mushin Market if you need tools. Or you contact me privately, I sell leathercraft tools. I have some available beginner sets for sale. Thank you. Please keep your questions coming in. I'm happy to see your questions. Hope I answered your questions rightly. Okay. So I was talking about a pair of scissors for cutting your leather piece. If you are not using your cutter knife or your cutter pen, you can use your pair of scissors for cutting out your leather piece. Yeah. Yes. So on to the next. This is a cutter knife for cutting your threads. Then sewing, just easy to snip off your thread when sewing on your leather or any material. It's easy. Then the hammer, the metal hammer, it's used for like after applying your gum on your leather piece or putting your lining or gumming two leathers together. You can use this metal hammer to hit the leather softly surface. After your gum dry up, you use your hammer to hit it together for the leather to stay for the leather to stay well together. And after stitching your leather stitches, if you use machine or use hand, you can use your metal hammer to go through the stitches with your hammer just to help the thread and your leather surface be on, how will I say it now? Allow your thread settle well in the leather. So you can use a metal hammer on it. Use your metal hammer on it. You just go bum 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 on the thread. Then anytime if you don't have that, because this is for beginners, later on you will get to know that okay, there's a roller to put your leather piece gum together. But as a beginner, you can use your hammer. You just go on the surface of the leather, and trust me, it will stay well. Apply as far as you applied your gum well, and allow it to dry before putting it together. Okay, sorry. How do you protect your cutter knife from rust? Mine is rusting already when it hasn't even cut anything. Okay, you can get your oil grease. You just apply it on your cutter knife. Even your scissors, your pricking irons, anything metal you use in your workshop, you should always grease it. Yes, apply oil on it for it to avoid rust. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So punch. You need punches as a leather crafter, as a beginner. Hole punch for maybe you want to pass your rivets or anything. You need your punch to create holes, maybe to pass maybe you're making footwears and you want to pass your leather through the sides to make buckles, to pass your leather down to the upper sole of the craft you're making. You need a long punch like this. Hope it's clear. The this one is for hole. We have they come in different sizes. When you see them, they come in different sizes. So you should know when you go to the market for punches, you ask for sizes, and their size is written on them. Their sizes are written on them, so it's easy to identify the one suitable for your project. Yeah. So here, this one is a skiver. It comes in a Leathercraft beginners kit also. It's for skiving your leather edge. When I say skiving, let me explain what I mean by skiving. Skiving is removing the top, like at the back of your leather, reducing the flesh of your leather. Maybe it's too thick for you to run your machine through it or to stitch it, because it's not good when the edges of your leather are bulky. Depends on the project you're doing though, but it's always nice when it's slim for your wallets, your bags, your footwears. Especially for your footwears, if you want your footwear to be presentable, like your leather and your sole to be flat and firm, instead of being bulky on the sole, you skive it. You turn it to the back or to the front if it's going to be hidden. Then you go light on the surface of it, depending on how thin you want it to be, how you want it to look for your project. That's when you use a skiver. Some people skive with knives. Some people use their cutter knife to skive, but it's safe you use a skiver And skivers, they come in different types. We have the blade that comes with the blade in it and the holder. You go through it. Then you have this type of skiver. Then we have the skiving knife, the Japanese skiving knife. That's a classic. I love that one. This is the French type of skiver also. I'll show you the Japanese skiving knife. It also comes in leather, some beginners leather craft kits, but this one is always there as well too. This is your edge skiver. You go in your surface for it. Am I making sense, everybody? Can I use razor blade to shave or skive the leather? I won't advise you to use razor blade though. Please don't cut yourself. It's better you use your skiver to go through your surface of your leather. Yeah, I'll show you the razor type I'm talking about. That you apply your razor on it, close it. It's safe. It has a handle, and you go through your surface to skive to reduce the thickness of your leather before sewing it. There's another important one: the punch board. Do not punch on a metal surface. This is what you punch on your punching board. Punch your punching board. You place it on your table. You place your leather on it. Then you apply. Then you put your pricking iron. When using your pricking iron, when using your punch, this is what you use. Your punch board, and you don't use both sides, please. Use only one side of your punching board, so it goes down deep, deep, deep. Because if you use both sides, it's not advisable to use both sides because it will not, it's not proper. Like later on, maybe you want to shave off this part or so, it will just go down because it's thick, it's layer by layer when using it. So you can't be using both up and down. You choose one side that you use. So punch, this is the punching board. It's available in the market, Mushin in Lagos here. Or you check the leather market in your state here in Nigeria and get your punching board. They come in different sizes also and come in different colors too. Yeah, this is mine, punch board. So whenever you are punching whenever you're using whenever you're using your punches or your pricking iron, you use your punch board. And don't use metal ruler. Don't use metal hammer. Use this one. Or the other one, the other soft plastic ones that come in white. That's what you use. Please. Don't use metal ruler. Why do I keep saying ruler? Don't use metal hammer for your tools because it damage your tools. We have the varnishing stick here for varnishing your leather edges. Yesterday, I explained what varnishing means. Varnishing your leather edge is to give your finished project a smooth, shiny edge, to give it a fine finish, to give it a presentable finish for your customer. So you varnish the edge of your leather. You can use water. I said that yesterday. If you don't have the varnishing cream or whatever, you can use water. And you can also use wax, those shoemaker wax. You go on the surface of the edge, you go on the edge of the leather, you apply it, then you use your varnishing wood here and go through the edge. If you look closely, you see that this varnishing wood has different layers. They are the different sizes of your leather edge. Depends on how thick your leather is. If it's thin, you use this one. Depends, or if it fits into this one, you use this. If it fits in, that's how this wood is. And they have different types. Some are come in circle, some are square. But I think this is the classic one that everybody has online. If you are into the traditional way of doing leather crafts like me, hand stitching your leather project, then you should know that you need hand stitching needles. Yes, hand stitching needles, they have blunt edges that will not wound you when stitching your leather. These are the needles. This is a pair hand stitching needles for hand stitching leather. They come with blunt edge so you don't hurt yourself when doing your leather craft. Yesterday, Mr. Victor showed us a hack method of using our normal big needle here. You break the edge, you bond the edge. I think you can ask him, send a private message to teach you more on how to create yours if you can get your hand stitching needles. Okay. So let me go to your questions and see. Let's see. I think Mr. Victor is back. Well, let me go through your question. Someone is asking me, please, where do they sell these tools? I sell leathercraft tools. If you need, you can send me a DM. I will send, and yes, you can send me a DM if you want a leathercraft tools. And also, you can check this group. Some time ago, I do share some of the tools I have on the group posts. They are there also. Where can we buy these razor tools? Are they affordable? Yeah, so they're affordable, but you know our economy right now, because we don't make these tools here in Nigeria. Just DM me, we'll talk more on it. This one said, but when I show the motion people these tools on my phone and call the names, they seem not to know it or even seen it before. One of the seller even referred me to reading material. When I started this craft, I don't know if you know, there is this scraper that bricklayers use for mixing cement and maybe scratching surface. I got one time thinking it was the Skyping Knife. That's how, yes, I did that. So I understand this part of them pointing you to building material section. But you can contact me for your tools. Yeah. And there is one man also that sells like old tools, vintage tools in Mushin. Yes, Mushin, Lagos. You can check him out. You can ask around for him if you go to Mushin. He has good tools. I buy some tools from him too for my use. And I sell tools. If you need tools, contact me. I have brand new leathercraft tools. Can we see what a burnished leather looks like? Yes, I will. I will get one for you. Can top bond glue be used as a burnishing cream? I've tried that before. I did when I saw Tokeno, when I was still learning the craft. I tried it because I had top bond. I also I applied I got my top bond glue gum and applied it on the surface and went through it. It was okay for a while, but it came off after a while. Yes. So just use water if you want to burnish. Just try water. Apply water on the surface and go through it several times. It will come out fine. Yeah. Most of them in motion don't know these tools, and she said she sells. Yeah. Yes. I sell tools if you need. Can you share his name/contact? I'll share his contact with you later. Yeah. After the live, I'll share his contact if you want old tools, used tools. Yeah. I will do that later after the live. I'll share it privately. If you want his contact, please send me private message on my Facebook, and I will give you his contact so you call him. And water will work well for both chrome and vegetan. For vegetan, water works very well. For chrome tan, not so well. But if you know that wax, the shoemaker wax. Let me get it. I'll be right back. Please, please, please give me a few seconds. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for waiting. Um, I have this is one I have. They sell this wax in the market in Motion. They call it Shoemaker Wax. So you can get it in the market. You go on the surface of the leather edge, and then you take your burnishing wood and go through it continuous with friction. You go on it very well. You can use water. I've tried using this wax for chrome tan, and it gave me a good result for my wallet. It did. There's one thing I do when I use this wax. After applying it and going on it, I just take my lighter or my edge creaser. This is the edge creaser. I'll talk about it. I just heat it, burn it, and go on the surface of the leather after applying my wax. Then continue using the burnish wood on it. For chrome tan and vegetan, it works well. It works well. Yeah, works well. So what do we have next? So this is the earlier I was talking about scavenging razor. So this is one example of the scavenging razor that we have. It also comes in the kit. So this is this is what it looks like. This is the blade that comes in it. It has extra pack also. So you just place it on this part. Sorry, I don't know. You place it like this, and then you don't want to wound myself. There you go. This is it. So you use it like this, and the back, the blade is here, the tip. So you go on your leather surface. That's how you skive it. This is the skiver also. Then I have this one, edge creaser. It's adjustable. Now, edge creaser is a decorative method for your finished leather goods as well. It's just to give it a decorative, classy, luxurious look at the end of a leather project. Like after drawing you can use it at the tip, close to your stitching, close to your stitches. Like after your stitch here, then let's say after you stitch here, somewhere down at the tip here, you heat it. So you can use it cold. Last is if you wet your leather first, then you go on it. But most of the time I burn it, I heat it. Then when it's hot enough, I carefully go the edge of my leather. On my YouTube channel, Footwear Leathercraft, you will see a video I made on creasing your leather edge. I have a video on my YouTube channel, Footwear Leathercraft. I have a edge creasing video. I use this creaser and another creaser for a tutorial example. You can go check it out later in the day. So I came up with the groover. I want to show you. This one is available for sale. So I can't find mine, so I have to bring this one for you. So this is the groover for drawing your stitching lines in your leathercraft. Yeah. So this long thing you're seeing here, it's adjustable. You roll this silver under and you move it to any distance you want your stitch to be. So after that, you lock it. You lock it up. And then, lock it tight like this. Sorry. I opened it to the end instead of locking it. So it locks now. Then you hold it firm and go through the edge. Let me make an example for you. Here. So now, this is your leather now. You go like this. You put it like this. And then you go. It's already drawing the line itself on it. You go straight to the end and then you punch your line. If you're not using this, you can use the divider. But this one comes with the Leathercraft kit box for beginners. It's available. Yeah. So that's the groover I was talking about earlier. Then use your lighter for after stitching. Always burn your thread. Don't want thread dangling with your project. Always burn out the thread after stitching. Hand stitch or your machine you used for your project. The lighter is important. So any further question? Is there any question for me? First time I'm hearing the term chrome leather. E clear say I get plenty things to learn. How many types of leathers do we have? Basically, we have two types of leather. Yesterday we talked about leather. I'm sure you missed it. Did you miss the class? I'm sure maybe you did. Or okay. We have two types of leather. We have the vegetan and the chrome tan. Chrome tan is the skin, the animal skin, processed in a tannery using chrome salt. And it takes few days, 2-3 days, the leather is ready. And they come in varieties of color. They have soft texture. Those are the chrome tan leather. I have a video, I shared it yesterday also on choosing the right leather for your project. I have it available on my YouTube channel as well. I shared it on this group yesterday after our first class yesterday. Then the other leather we have the vegetan leather. The vegetan leather was made from plant extract. It takes like up to 90 days in the tannery to produce. They come in mostly black, brown, and neutral color. If you want it in any other color, you can buy your dye and dye it. They are thicker and they are firm. Example of vegetan leather is the leather we use for our belt making. You can also use your vegetan to make slippers and bags without lining. If you're lining it will be too heavy, so without lining. So the chrome tan is cheaper and affordable. The vegetan is affordable. It's also expensive. Yeah. And the vegetan take toolings. When I say toolings, I mean your stamp, your logo, your branding. It takes toolings well on your leather surface. Most chrome tan don't really take toolings well, but they do, but not as much as the vegetan. Vegetables are durable also. Yeah. Okay. Someone said, can we use divider in a mathematical set? Yes. Mr. Victor showed this thing yesterday using a mathematical set as a divider. He used it. Let me get mine. Sorry. Like this. Mathematical set divider. You can use it. You just measure what you want it for, the size with your ruler. Please always work with ruler for dimensions. Don't use eye gauging, please. We have to do our professionals. We have to do our work well. Use ruler. Don't say my eye go get jam. I go get them. No, please measure with ruler. Do it. Check it. Maybe half a centimeter or 2 millimeter, 2 mm. Yes, 2 millimeter. Anyone like this. Then you draw the line on it. Yes, you can. Then use your punch on your leather surface too. Yes, indeed. Oh, a person said yes, I missed the class. Yeah, thought as much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Please keep your questions coming in. Any question?
Okay, Heavy, can I say something?
Yes, you can, sir.
Okay, sorry, I'm in a bit of a noisy place, but I hope it's not too noisy.
It's okay.
Thank you very much for holding the fort. I totally enjoyed the class. I've been here since you started, and I totally enjoyed the class, really. Now, about tools, I just want to put in a comment. Let not having all of the tools that you need ever be an impediment for starting, right? Like Kevin mentioned that yesterday, I demonstrated that even when you don't have an edge groover, that you could use the dividers, a pair of dividers from a mat set. Sometimes all you might need to do is to be a little bit ingenious and
Oh, I think it's network, but we'll have him back. So can we please have your questions before he gets back? Questions, please. Yeah, give. We spoke, gave an example of how to use it yesterday. Check the field. I think the video is there. Yes, the video from yesterday is on our field on the group. You can check it out and you'll see there. Yes, it's there. And I just did now with my own pair of the mathematical step divider. I said, let me go again. I said you measure it. Always use ruler, please. People work with measurement. You know, back then in primary school, they taught us how to measure. Please use it. Use your ruler. 10 centimeter, 1 inch, 50 mm. Work with your ruler. It's important. So you want to check it with your ruler, and then you go on the edge of one out, one in, like this. You draw your line. That's how to demonstrate your line. And then when it's clear, you use your pricking iron and punch on your leather to get your holes. If you're using sewing machine, also draw your line, then put it on your machine, then sew following that straight line you drew using your divider or your groover or your leathercraft divider. Put it in your sewing machine and sew following the straight line. It's important. He said whatever we do, we should learn to do it well. So I'll recommend that everyone should practice every day with this craft. Practice every day. That's how we'll become perfect in the craft. Okay, I got a new question here. Please, can you tell us how to pick threads, especially for wallets, sizes and types? So will you teach us how to saddle stitch? Yes, we'll be teaching how to saddle stitch tomorrow. It's scheduled for tomorrow. No, it's scheduled for later today. Sorry. We'll be back again. We have 3 sessions today. 12, 4, and 7, 8. That's when we'll be doing the saddle stitch. And I'll also show you a video. I have a free tutorial video on how to make a simple leather pouch later in the day also. So we're coming to saddle stitch. Yes. How can you tell us, okay, pick threads using especially for wallets and sizes? Okay, give me a few minutes again. Let me get the 2 types of threads I have and show you the example of the threads. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Yes. For the question of the threads, please, we have 2 types. I have 2 types actually. This is the waxed thread. This is the wax thread. They also come in the kit of the beginner's kit for leathercraft. They come in small sizes, but I got this one. This is the wax thread. It's firmer. It can stand on its own, and they are of good quality. Yes, they are recommended for your craft. This thread, and this size here, it's size 210D. That's what's written inside here. I have this one in red and brown and black. I use this one because they are bigger when it comes to wallet. I can't really use this one to stitch wallet because it's big in size. I'm yet to find the smaller size in this wax thread. I've not gotten it yet, but I'm still on it. So what I use for my wallet, I use this one that we'll find in the market here, this twine thread that we'll find in the market here in the, yes. I use size 9 because I hand stitch, so I get size 9. And it appears well on my wallet after stitching my wallet. So what I do, for it to be like this one at least, I run my wax through the thread. I go through, that's what I do. So I wax my thread. Sometimes I just hit the wax a bit, then I go through the thread. This way, it prevents the thread from scattering at the edge, you know, so I run it through the thread first before using it. That's what I do. So I use this one, size 9, to hand stitch my wallets. Yes, that's what I use. You know, they come in different sizes, size 6, size 3, but I use size 9 hand stitch. This is what I do. I use the wax. I get this wax from the market and I go through the thread. And it appears well after stitching my wallet. So this one is a size 9. I use a size 9 twine thread here. Then I go through it with my wax. That's what I use. Then when I'm working with thicker leather, or my punch, bigger holes for my punch, I go with this big thread. That's what I go with. I go with it. But when I get the smaller size of this one, I think I'll get it and use it. But for now, I use this one, and it's actually working well for me. Working well for me. So that's it. That's the trick I use. I wax it myself and use it, and it's fine on my wallets. Okay. So I think someone is asking for. Someone is answering a question here. I think the cheap leather is just a lower. Okay, let me talk to someone. Okay, my question is from yesterday's class. Please, when you spoke about the cheap leather and expensive leather, does it mean that the cheap leather is fake? I mean the one that feels soft like foam. Well, it's not fake. When I say cheap leather, I meant the process the tannery use in making it is easy for them. They use chrome salt, so it's affordable for them to use. And the chrome salt, they use the chrome salt to process the leather for us to use. So those ones that come foamy or soft, they are good leather. As time goes on in this leather craft business, you understand the difference of Vegetan and chrome tan when working with Vegetan leather and chrome tan leather. They are both good. Yes, they do their work well. They have their qualities, yes, every other leather type. So when I say chrome tan is cheap, it doesn't mean it's fake or it's use and tear. No, it's of good quality. I meant it's cheaper to process, and it's affordable for us to buy and use, because that's what we use most of the time. Chrome tan leather. We use more of chrome tan than Vegetan, because the Vegetan, it takes time to process. It's more expensive to buy. It's more expensive for them to process it. So that's different when I said expensive and cheap. If you go to the market and you ask for Vegetan, if you won't say Vegetan, the sellers in the market will not understand the term Vegetan and chrome tan. Except you say I want thick leather, that's Vegetan leather. When you say soft leather, when you touch it, light leather, those are the chrome tan leather. Please. Hope I answered your question. Okay, so we're coming to the end of this session. Thank you everyone for joining us. I hope I answered your questions right. I hope I explained the tools and the uses correctly for you to understand. If you have any further question, drop it on the group for us. We'll answer your questions in the group there. If you want tools, some leathercraft tools, you can send me private message and I'll reply you. I'll reply you. And any question to share it in the group field. We're here to answer your questions. We're here to read your comments. So it's quite unfortunate that Mr. Victor could not join us. He's having a busy day, but we'll be back by 4 p.m. We're having a guest, Hank and Rich. He'll be joining us live by 4 p.m. So please don't forget, set your alarm. Thank you very, very much for this time. Thank you for your time. All right. Bye. See you by 4.